Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Just wait for the guys to hop on. There's Stewart. There we go. Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just trying to shuffle, the dogs around and everything. Got everybody where they need to be, so that's good.
Yeah, full-time job. I appreciate y'all having me on tonight.
We appreciate you coming on. I know you're a busy dude.
Can be.
Oh, don't be so modest.
It is. I'm telling you, just my son isn't playing baseball. My daughter's playing softball. But this is a perfect time. Y'all are an hour behind us, so it's perfect time about when stuff's winding down.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, we're a baseball softball family. My family is. So my nephew just got done playing or is wrapping up playing baseball right now.
Yeah, spring league's about to come to an end.
Yeah. He's pretty bummed about it, but at the same time, it's sort of like I'm sure that gets exhausting after a whole season of kicking butt.
They get like 3 weeks of a break, and then they're right back into summer ball.
Yeah. There's not really much of a break. I think my nephew this year, though, I think he's actually going to take the summer off of rec ball. So
I can't blame him. We don't even stop practicing. I'm like, we might as well just keep practicing, stay fresh.
Yeah.
We might as well.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think he's ready to do that. But I also know that he is getting ready to start football this upcoming year. I mean, he's been playing it, but I think he's turning that into his focus, which is wild. So
yeah,
that's
a whole different ball game.
Whole different sport. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, you go from baseball to contact sports. Like, oh my gosh,
That's funny.
I don't know how.
Our school out here, our football program's like 4 years. They've just introduced it to us out here. We live in a real small town. I mean, there's nothing but soybeans and cornfields out here, and
Whereabouts are you?
We're in Indiana, Pekin, Indiana.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I keep forgetting that Indiana's like right where that eastern. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust everything. Where that eastern time change happens.
Yeah. It's not too big of a deal. We I like it because we get a lot more daylight.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm actually originally from Kansas, so I'm a Midwestern transplant down here to the south.
Oh yeah. You like it down there better?
I like not having as bad of a winter.
Yeah, winter we truly get all 4 seasons here.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of miss the bright colors in the fall and everything, and coming down here and learning different planting seasons. Like when certain things go in the ground here is so much different. So it's like, God dang it, I have to like relearn everything I thought I knew. But
I assume y'all start sooner than us.
What now?
I assume y'all start sooner than us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they a lot of the like shrubs, we end up having to like we wait to prune until like January.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're waiting to prune things until January, but everything blooms sooner. I don't understand it. It weirds me out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely get it.
Trying to add Caleb here.
I'll take y'all's time.
I'd rather not. Just trying to see if it's. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. It was successful. There we are.
See if I can't send share.
Hey.
Why so dark?
Hey. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot. I'm getting in place right now. I tried the internet in my house again. I'm now headed to work so I can get the internet.
You can't have nothing nice. You're not Walmart Wi-Fi.
You work at night?
Man, oh, man.
You work at night?
No. I go up there for the Wi-Fi.
Just stealing the Wi-Fi. That's all.
Yeah. Man, I live like 300 yards outside city limits, and like no one will cover us. We've been on this waiting list for like a year for this like satellite company that's supposed to be coming
Yeah,
down.
get you that fiber.
Yeah. Man, it's ridiculous.
That's what I have.
Yeah, but how's it going, Stewart? Man, I appreciate you joining us, man. I'm sorry.
Oh man, you're just fine. I appreciate y'all having me on. Everything's going good. We're just kind of winding down here for the night.
Yeah. Hey man, have you talked to Bruce?
He's on here.
There he is. Okay, hold up. It says. Oh, he's. Did you send an invite, or do you like? It didn't give me the option to add you, sweetheart. What is it?
He's going to bed.
Stewart, it looks like something's good in that glass, man.
Man, it ain't nothing but sweet tea, brother.
Yeah, man.
You sure about that? I can't say the same thing. So
What?
Bruce.
Bruce.
What's up? I've been called much worse, so we'll rock with it.
What's up, guys? I've been trying to get on for about 5 minutes.
I know. So,
You
like,
pay your fee at the door. Amanda's patting people down.
listen, like members only. All right, listen. I know.
Man.
Whoa.
But no, y'all doing all right tonight?
Sorry. That was weird. Sorry, laptop. Don't mind me. All right, now that we got everybody on and we seemingly can hear and not really see you, Caleb. But so usually how we start things out, Stewart, is we go ahead and let you introduce yourself, your kennel name, your business name, and then just kind of follow that up with how you got into bullies in the first place.
Okay. Well, to reiterate, I'm Stewart Flagg of Thoroughbred Built Bullies. We're located here in southern Indiana. We're right on the Louisville, Kentucky border. We're about 30 minutes from Louisville, Kentucky. That's the biggest city. We're closer there than we are to Indianapolis. The way I got introduced into American Bullies is I actually had a friend that was house sitting a long time ago. His name's Andrew Underwood, and we were much younger at this point. But we were going to go out. We're talking 18, 19, so young.
Oh yeah.
And we were going to go out for the night. And he's like, "Hey, before we go out, I got to stop by a friend's house who's out on vacation, and I got to feed his dog, let him out." And his name was Thor at the time. And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "You're going to shit when you see this dog." And I'm just like, "All right, you know what I mean? I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to go have a good time and kick it with all the fellas and whatnot." And we pull up to this house, and you just hear this loud bark, ferocious dog. You know what I mean? I'm like, "You sure I should go in here? This dog don't know me." And he's like, "Yeah, man, he's a baby." And he barks a couple more times, and we're like, "That ain't no baby in there." You know what I mean? But
maybe your
when I
baby,
got in
but
there, yeah, I was like, I'll just chill out here. But I seen him through the window, and he was huge. And of course, me, I didn't know I'm like, that's the biggest pit bull I ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? And he was like, I don't think it's a pit bull. I don't even know what it is. He said, but when I called it a pit bull, he got upset. And I was like, oh, well, he's the biggest damn dog I've ever seen other than like a mastiff, you know? And, so we were supposed to go out that night, and we ended up being there. We were supposed to be in and out, like get him some water, let him run around out back, use the restroom, and we were there for 3 hours because the dog was a big baby. He was just, you know, rolling over on his back, and you know, I was just mesmerized by him. Before that, I always wanted an English bulldog. I remember watching like Rob and Deer Deck in the Fantasy Factory. You know, yeah, you know, I wanted an
They had
English
that really
bulldog
cool
so
bulldog on
bad.
the skateboards and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and my whole thought process changed once I seen that dog. So that's what really got me even to even know what American Bully was, let alone you know, I didn't even have breeder's aspirations at that time. My mom had bred a couple of different breeds at that point. She had bred Chihuahuas and she had bred Shar-Peis. So had been around it a lot, but didn't really have aspirations to be a breeder. You know, I was only 18, but you know what I mean. Um, Found out how much one of these dogs were, and I didn't. You know, it's not like I went right out and got me a American Bully.
Yeah.
You know, told myself, you know, when I get older, that's going to be what I get, and you know, kind of wheelbarrowed into that. I mean, that's how I got introduced into American Bullies.
Nice. That's
Yes. Your mom bred Chihuahuas. Does
No,
she still breed them?
no, she has them, but she don't
That's
breed them anymore. Uh,
so you were that took place just a different breed before you actually got into the American Bully
yeah, I
breed
mean, I had
itself.
been around it. It definitely wasn't like my first rodeo or anything like that. I wouldn't even say that hands-on at that point. You know, I'd help her with whatever she had going on, or she yelled at me to do whatever. You know what I mean? I had seen enough to have, you know, a small grasp of what was going on. You know what I mean? Not
Well,
not like
well,
that.
there
That
it is.
well look, man, this. Where did you get your first bully from? Where did you
I got my first breaking up on me, Bruce.
get your first bully from?
I got my
Y'all,
first
y'all hear me?
bully from Michael Stanton here.
One second, guys. I'm seeing
There-
it.
it's a little delayed. It
Yeah.
seems.
One second. I just changed something. I think it might even be related to my service. One second. Should be okay. Our signal should be good now. So now we'll just kind of see if that improves a little bit as far as delay is concerned. But I think Bruce,
Yeah.
there you go. Okay.
All right.
Sorry. Ask away. Sorry about that.
Hey,
There was a
That's all right.
smidge of a delay, and you were a little pixelated there for a second. I needed to change to a different service, so I just changed that. So we should be good now.
All right. So, what was your first bully,
I don't know about you.
Stewart?
hey,
My first bully was an XL. I got it from Michael Stanton here in southern Indiana. He's about 20 minutes from me. He lives right on the border as well. He deals with heavy Ellis and Pro Bulls mix. So that was the first one I got around 2018, 2017. Once again, boy named Thor. I didn't even get a chance to name him. I got him at like 7 months, and he was already named. So I wasn't gonna try to change his name.
Unprogramming.
Uh, yeah, yeah. There was no point in doing that. He answered to it, and um, big ass dog, so the name was fitting. Um, so he
No.
was heavy Ellis, heavy Pro Bulls on dad's side, and then on mom's side he was heavy Viet Shark, and then you know like 4 generations back he was like General and Nala. You want to call that Viet Shark or DDK? You know, yeah, can debate that.
uh,
Wait,
You know what I mean? Uh,
let me ask you this. What you said, was it scar blood on the other side? Can you remember?
y'all getting that?
Uh, uh,
Scar? Anything off Scar? Any Scar
No,
blood?
no Scar,
I think.
no Scar. Heavy cocoa.
Oh,
It was.
Coca-Cola.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, cocoa was that. Mom was. God, it's hard to even to think of all the pets. I got it in the book, but heavy V shark for sure. Uh, and then as well.
All right.
HPP Shockwave as well. I mean, he was kind of scattered, I guess, if we're being honest. He was kind of scattered because he went
Yeah.
from like HPP Shockwave to MBB Aftermath to El Chapo of Elise again. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I mean, I
Yeah.
guess honestly, those were the main peds, or the main kennels in his peds. But I mean, if we're being honest, he was probably scattered more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was your first dog. So you liked big, heavy dogs, size,
Yeah.
mass. So tell us about that, because I know there was a transition point that we're going to get to, but tell us how you kind of got started and what you liked about those dogs
So
at first.
I started doing my search. I ran in. You can almost call me not quite one of the COVID. I started preparing right before COVID, and then COVID came. You know what I mean? And taught me what
Yeah.
you will. Got a little bit, and I was
you
like, "This is my
can't help
time.
that,
I'm gonna
okay?
go." You know what I mean? I'm gonna go get one. You know what I mean? But he was kind of
Yeah.
my first one. So I was, I'd be lying if I said I didn't come in and I was looking for, weight and size and, um, what, not saying that everyone that comes in looking for weight and size and a big old head and everything is uneducated. That's not what I'm trying to get at, but I had never been to a show ring. You know what I mean? I had never
Yeah.
really, other than online social media, had really gone and put hands on many bullies of any class. Excuse me. And so when I seen him, you know what I mean, he was automatically the baddest dog in the world. The best thing I had ever seen. Which I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Still to this day, even with my vision changing and everything, he's still a badass dog. He holds his own. But my thought process was I was definitely in that weight chase. Like I said, I got him at 7 months, and he was at that point he was like 100 and I don't know 3 pounds, 105 pounds. Promised to be about 150, 160. He never made it. He never made it to that weight ever. He did top out about like 128, which y'all put hands on a dog that big. It's a big dog. Is there bigger?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, that's what he was at. Um, you know, 23 inches at the withers, and he was red. That was kind of my thing. So not only was I looking for size and mass and a big old head, but I was wanting red. You know what I mean? And I was wanting red, and there was no talking me out of it. And, uh, Michael Stanton, great breeder. He had it close by, and that's where I went. You know what I mean? That's where I went, and
Yeah.
that's where I got him. And was happy as could be with him. You know what I mean?
Sounds like
Absolutely. Do any
Yeah,
breedings with them?
yeah. I've done about 6 breedings with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
six
Nice.
breedings with him. All but one litter. I was very satisfied. The one litter was actually my own, was my own litter, and it was the very first female I got. And when I
Yeah.
say like
Yeah.
19 and a half inches at the withers on this female, bully as bully gets, but
Yeah.
a terrier head. A
oh
terrier.
no.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
what I bought it at 6 weeks. You know what I mean? I was like, I already had to change. And it didn't change. It didn't change, and it's crazy because I mean, honestly, if I could, stick a bully head on her, I mean, there would have been nothing I'd changed about her.
Right.
She was perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I
just
don't know if that
nothing
makes
at
it
all.
more or less frustrating.
More, promise, more.
Damn.
But we put them together, and of course, she was heavy Viet Shark as well, so I'm thinking automatically it's going to click. By the time I got my my first female, I had done a little more research, not as knowledgeable as I am today, but I had done a little more research, and I'm like, oh, 2 times Code Red, you know what I mean? Red Monster, and oh, this is going to
Everything.
click. This is going to bring the size down in 4. And
Oh, that it sounds like something recessive just kind of slipped its way in there.
yeah, it just showed me how much I didn't know. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but I like that. I like you were humble enough to say that, back to the drawing board, and then you went out to shows and you saw, I'm guessing a different image of a dog than you were
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
seeing.
One of the first shows I went to was up in Indy, and it was a BRC show. And this was the first time. Have y'all ever seen Samuel Alfea's Boss?
I have not.
Huh.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
believe so.
I believe Jerry Mahoney had produced him, but but this was, I mean, this dog's rib cage. I had never seen a dog with that wide of a rib cage. He was 23 inches at the withers with a true 28.5-inch head. The funny story is,
Yeah.
I had never seen a head that big in my life. Never in my life had I seen a head that big. And I'm walking around here telling people that my boy Thor's head is 28 inches. Okay. So I walk past Samuel Alfea like double take, and I'm like, son of, you know what I mean? I'm like, how big is his head? Like 35 inches, bro? How big is
It
his
was
head?
this big.
I ain't got enough room on my little square to tell you, okay? It was huge. And he's like, no, he's only got like a 27 3/4, 28-inch head. I said, bullshit. My dog's got a 28-inch head. Swear to God. What's he do? Pulls out the mile tape. He said, well,
Oh,
let's go
Like,
see.
there's an app for that.
Yeah, full confidence. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? Come
oh,
on.
No. How was
And
your
we go over there.
confidence level in that moment?
Yeah, full on confidence. This dude's an idiot. You know what I mean? And I go over there, and he's like, I show him, and I don't even have Thor with me. I got Loki, who has a little bit bigger of a head at the time. So I bring Loki, and he puts Loki on the tape. It's 25 and a half. You know what I mean? It's 25 and a half. And he's like, he's got a big head. I mean, it's not 28 inches, but he's got a big head. And, Samuel couldn't have been any more humbling. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, he's a nice looking dog, bro. Like, he looks good. And I'm just like, yeah, but he ain't got a 28-inch head. You know what I mean? He said, what have you been measuring with? I said, I got the stretched out Taylor tape because, I mean, I wasn't just guessing. You know what I mean? I put this Taylor tape around his head, and one, I wasn't measuring him right. And two, I found out real quick that it's not as accurate as a Maya.
yeah. Stewart waits till a full-on yawn. Like, measure.
I put a ball in his mouth. Like, here, hold that.
Oh, no, that's cool. Hey, and that shows how big a 28-inch head really is. A 20, like you said, 25, anything over 25 is really a large, it's a nice dome piece. Like, depending, of course, on the shoulder placement, the chest spread, things like that, how proportionate it is. But, man, 28-inch heads are very, very rare.
I've still yet to maybe see like one or two since my show going experience. And going to the vet, whatever it may be, you might find one. Going to look at studs to put hands on them before you run them to your female. I mean, I've still probably only seen one other one, maybe. And I know they're out there. But, they're far and few in between. And, yeah. And what was crazy is Boss had his son there, who was quite a bit taller than him, which I thought was weird. But he had a 29-inch head. So both of these big-ass headed dogs are standing right next to each other, and I'm just like, they make me want to tuck my dog away. Like, you know what I mean?
And just like, nobody look at me. Nobody look at my dog.
Yeah. We had a long conversation with ourselves that ride home that night, you know what I mean?
It was a long car ride home. Just looking at
In
I'm
Long
like, I want you to know I still love
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It was like losing the World Series, Little League World Series, and your dad's the driver. You know what I mean? Like,
They're like, please hurry up.
yeah, and every red light was red. I'm telling
Oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
longest ride ever.
Oh man.
Oh,
But at that show, I
man.
found out two things. You know what I mean? They weren't even showing bossing the show. They were just there to be there. And you know, I found out the difference between show ring dogs, freak factor dogs, and what I don't know what you would call mine. I mean, we put ours in the show. We won second a couple of times. Um, it was nice. It was a good showing. So a little confidence in placing second. You know what I mean? I found out you don't need a 28-inch head to place second at the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That a 28-inch head
Yeah.
isn't going to win you a show. It's as impressive as it is, that it took a lot more than that. So, if I'm being realistic, it was a huge learning curve that night of, you know, and because I was so impressed with Boss, I'm asking myself on the way home, like, well, do we want to take ribbons home? Do we want a freak factor dog, a tool? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Well, where do we want
Yeah.
to go? And I didn't really have an answer that night. I mean, I still do it to this day, and I've landed on the fact of like you need both. You know what I mean? You need both, and and
Wow.
that's just my opinion. Not everyone has to share my opinion, but I would like to have both.
that's why you're here. Please ask your
Well, you know, if someone doesn't share my opinion, it won't be the first time, and I promise you, it won't be the last. You know what I mean? So, and I'm okay with it. I've
Uh,
grown to that age to where I'm okay with it. We can still be friends.
That's right.
yes, but you're talking our language. I I can speak for all three of us when I say this too. All three of us are on the same page with that. A balanced dog, like you've got to have the mass. You've got to have the mass. It's got to look bully first of all, and then it's got to be
Gotta be
correct. It's got to be
proportionate, yeah.
balanced.
Yeah,
Show.
going back to
Yeah.
that 28-inch head thing, you know what I mean? It's about proportion. I mean, if you got a 28-inch head and a skinny little frame, I mean, and you look like a weeble wobble, you're gonna fall down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Fall down.
what I mean?
Fall
Don't
Like,
fall
it's,
down.
you know what I mean? It's not cool. You know what I mean?
Uh,
It's about. I would rather have a dog with a 25-inch head that's
Yeah,
21 inches at the withers and proportionate than a dog with a freakish 30-inch head, no ass, straight stifles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
know,
Exactly.
What what would you say
Yeah.
is
So
probably out of all of the I wouldn't say flaws, but lacking traits? What would you say is the one you see the most common with XLs? What is the most common lacking trait that you've seen?
I'll probably give you two. I'm in a group chat with some friends, and it's something we talk about often. But I think I even talked to Caleb with it. So so spread seems to be becoming more and more common. Like nobody wants an H frame anymore, right? Like better have spread. You know what I mean? And that's all cool and all, but if you got spread with no chest and you look like you're flexing all collarbone, that skinny man that's fucking flexing all collarbone. I hate that. So I'd say the spread without the chest, but it's hard. I don't see a shit ton of Easty Westy anymore. I
Yeah,
don't see a shit ton of high rears anymore. I would just honestly say breed type. Whether it just be the muzzle or they got a perfect head, but like they're walking all ribs. You know what I mean? Uh, I know
yeah.
you asked for one, but these are just my pet peeves.
no, I mean that you got to have them, and that's the thing is I feel that people that have more pet peeves, like they can't just stick to one thing that just pisses them off when they see it in the ring. But
Yeah,
like I find that the people that have more than one pet peeve are have a tendency to be less kennel blind.
yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
I'm still learning to this day, so they tend to change, and I am learning that a dog can be a tool, that it doesn't have to come with every belly and whistle, you know what I mean, to stay in the program.
Breed stock is needed.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
dog feels it necessary to knock my shit down.
We just got dropped.
Yeah, apologies, y'all.
Okay. It's fine. What'd you say, Caleb?
Oh, I didn't say anything. But Stewart, hey, as you were transitioning and as you were, so that night leaving that show and asking yourself, and the question you still ask yourself, what do I want? And you say, the balance of the dog. So what steps have you taken since then to really start doing that in your program? Because I know there was a hard pivot.
So one, if the dog, it's weird because like as much as this is a business, you know what I mean, your feelings are very much involved. So you got to have that hard talk with
Absolutely.
yourself. Like, all right, I love this dog to death, but it's not cutting it for my program. I didn't go sell it. I gave it to family members, you know what I mean? So I cut down on the dogs, that didn't make the cut. If there wasn't something that was going to jump my program to where I needed it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't want to breed for 4 or 5 generations to finally get some.
Yeah.
I wanted to 1 or 2, you know what I mean, to get there. I didn't want to have to breed the mom and then the daughter and then the granddaughter and then the great granddaughter to finally achieve what I wanted. And I know that sounds kind of selfish, but why run all them dogs through all that when they could just be pet homed and be someone's couch hippo?
Yeah.
And I could just go make the right responsible decision to purchase the dog, do 1 or 2 litters, you know what I mean, and find that dog a home instead of just keep running them litter through litter through litter. So cutting down, you know what I mean, being realistic with myself, with what's attainable, what's achievable, studying a little more, you know what I mean. I was kind of set on this blood or that blood, and I kind of opened up myself a little more to look at different breeds, whether they were popular or not,
Yeah.
to judge the dog right in front of me. Not so much, well, it has this blood in it, and it has this blood in it, and hoping for a miracle because it has, whatever blood in the background,
Yeah.
can't cut any corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, God, it's not like there's 1 or 2 things. We cut down on dogs that didn't make the cut. If they didn't make the cut, most of them went to family, friends. I had a couple of people that were interested in litters, but, didn't really want paperwork. I reached out to them. I mean, I gave a couple of dogs away just because I knew where they were going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was perfect for them. You know what I mean? I had people thinking
Yeah.
I was a scam. You're just going to give me this dog? Yeah. I see your Facebook. I've stalked the shit out of you, and y'all look like a perfect fit for this dog. You know what I mean?
The light stocking, it's fine.
Yeah, light stocking.
It's good.
light stocking. Well, they're your babies. You don't spend
Sure.
2
I stock
years.
the hell out of you.
You know what I mean? With something and not be fond of it. So.
Yeah. Hey, quick side story. That's actually how me and Stewart met about a year ago. He called me. I didn't know who it was. And I was like, hello? He's like, hey, I want you to have my dog. That's how we started the conversation. I said, who is this? He said, this is Stewart. I said, how did you get my number? He said, a lot of research, a lot of digging. No,
Little stalking.
Yeah, but no, man, that's
Yeah.
responsible. It's responsible what you're talking about and then what you saw and how you transitioned it. And that's what I love. And that's why I want to discuss that tonight, because a lot of people need to quit being kennel blind. And like you said, instead of doing 1 or 2 generations to really start seeing that dog that you've always thought of, that vision really come to light instead of 4 or 5 generations. So it's responsible. Like you said, why am I going to form, this many dogs to get that dog?
I only have
because that's what we're
so
doing.
much room in my kennel to do it responsibly. You know what I mean? I could own 20 or 30 dogs, sure, but I'm not going to be able to give all them my attention. I'm not going to be able to give them the life that they deserve. And I feel like if I am going to breed them and I am going to, it needs to better the community. You know what I mean? It needs to, it's hard to say we should all be going in one direction because obviously we're not. But, you know,
Yeah.
to sell to the clients that I want to sell, to achieve the goals that I want to achieve, whether it be inside or outside the ring, I need to breed this way. And, you know what I mean? It's just, so if I'm going to put a dog through all that, you know, having 2 litters, you know what I mean? Being around these other dogs and having to, I don't want to say fight for attention, but if there's 4 dogs here, the attention has to be spread, you know?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You know
Hey,
what I mean?
Stuart,
So if I'm going to put them through all,
all right, let me not but pick your brain a bit. So when you give your dogs a pet home, that's color to me.
Hold up. Hold up. Hey, Bruce. Like, I don't want you to get too far into it. Like, man, hey, you were buffering real bad. I know a lot of people are having a
Yeah.
hard time. But hey, can you start the question over just so everyone can make sure we hear you
Okay.
right? I'm sorry, man.
When you said that you was giving some of your dogs to pet home, right? Y'all got me?
yeah, we got you.
Just
Yeah.
now.
Hey, now,
Just now you kick back in.
Hold on.
That
Y'all got
Walmart
me now?
Wi-Fi, man. There you go.
Man, I'm
Yes,
telling
sir.
you, man.
yeah.
Y'all got me?
Don't
Don't
you want?
move. Don't.
All right. When just like you say, you know, like when you give, you know, some of your offspring to pet homes, that's like cull, you know, culling your yard, right? So what
Soft
traits,
calling out.
what traits was your dog throwing that you really didn't like? And how do you say, you know, at the point, okay, if 'cause all dogs not perfect, keeping, you know, what dogs was you keeping to better your program, or you know what I'm saying? How do you uh do you um your dog in other words for your program? The traits that you didn't like, what traits was there? What trait was it that you didn't like that you
Is he asking why, like, what traits were they that I made me pet home those
Yeah,
dogs?
essentially.
yeah.
Yeah. What makes the cut in your yard? What traits are you looking for, and what traits were, I guess, they throw in that kind of made you like, hey, you didn't kind of make
Yeah.
the cut
Uh,
type.
so we kind of touched on it a little bit. The terrier head was killing me. You know,
Mhm.
I had one breeding with that dog. Her name's Gorgo, and you know, the terrier head killed me out. So I seen that she gave it to every single one, damn near like 90% of that litter. She gave it to every single one of them, and I was Thor, who I took her to. I mean, had a really nice head on him. You know what I mean? And
What did
when
it measure again?
uh,
What did his head measure again?
I think he was 26, 29 and a half. Okay.
That's right. 29
Yeah.
34.
Come on. I done admitted it once.
Oh God.
So he had a really nice headpiece on him as far as shape, you know, short muzzle,
Hmm.
blocky head, apple cheeks. So when I
Yeah.
seen that the lid and the blood was supposed to click, you know what I mean? They had the blood behind it. And so when all of them, I mean every single one of them came out snipey, I was just like, that's not gonna work because there should have been at least like one or two in the litter, right, that should have took from dad and should have straightened out a little bit, and then maybe the next generation we'd have that blocky head. But there was nothing better than mom's head. She literally spit out their head. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna be breedable, you know, able to breed out, you know. So that kind of fell into that 4 or 5 generations of trying to do that to find the magic stud to do it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna do that. Another female that we had kind of she had a good headpiece, she had wide ribs, you know what I mean, with a short, narrow chest. And then, so, you know, seeing that she had passed that on as well to her pups. And I've come to find out, you know, mom's 60 to 70% of the breeding. It's just mass.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that was mainly where we restarted, because I had done those outside studs right off the yard, and these people are having better breedings than I'm having on my yard. You know what I mean? So what was the common denominator? It was the female and what she brought to the table.
Yeah.
So I mean, being honest, I'd rather my female be more complete and run it to a tool than I would be, you know, the male be complete and the perfect specimen, and my female just be a little shisty. You know what I mean? Like a little off. I would much rather work with a good female. You know what I mean? So, and that's what mainly we got off the yard, to be honest, was females. Some made it easy. Some were dog aggressive. You know what I mean? Dog aggressive. I had one work himself out. You know what I mean? Me and Caleb talked about it. That was Thor. You know, I had him for 5 years, and never had been human aggressive. Never bit anyone. Never even like jumped up on anyone. Nothing. And turn around and bit me one day. You know what I mean? And didn't just bite me and like, you know, like I scared him or something. Like came at me. You know what I mean? Stitches and so that kind of worked itself out. Which it's just it's weird. I don't expect two males to get along ever, especially when you have intact females. But,
Yes.
and I got kennels outside that have runs and everything in them, but they were inside the kennels and they're welded wires. You know what I mean? You can't get out of there unless I let you out. And they were trying to get at each other through, which they can't. They can't get to each other, but they were trying to get at each other. And this was not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time that they had tried to do this. And I've always been able to be like, Thor, come on, quit being stupid. And he'd go right into his cage, you know what I mean, no matter how hot it was. And that day when I was like, all right, Thor, that's enough. Come on, man. Stop bullshitting. Thor was not bullshitting with me. Okay. Let me tell you, he came and he went for my thigh. Got me on my thigh, but natural reaction went down there to grab him, and that's when he latched onto my thumb pretty good, and I had to pretty much pick his big ass up with my thumb in his mouth and my other hand under his arm, and like throw him in his kennel. And I don't know what the blessing was there for when I finally put him in his kennel, you know what I mean, for him to let go of me, but he let go of me. So we were blessed that day.
Yeah.
So he worked himself out, you know what I mean, like that. He was automatically out. I couldn't let him go to another home, you know, and make someone promise. Oh, he won't do this to you, you know what I mean? We were best friends for 5 years, me and that boy. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, nothing. Did he not like other male dogs? No, but I mean, that's half of them. You know what I mean?
But to try to take a chunk out of you, that's
We got a good chunk. And that's the thing, you know, we rode in the semi truck for four years. You know, every day he was on the road with me for him to just turn and not be able to turn it off. And so he worked himself out as well. It was unfortunate. You know, I was tough the whole way through. Took him to the vet. They put him down. You know what I mean? I was tough. And then halfway home, I had to pull over and, you know, I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough, but that was a responsible decision, man. And what you're talking about tonight, a lot of what you're talking about tonight, a lot of people really need to listen to on responsible breeding practices. You know, you don't let aggressive tendencies control your program, like especially to the magnitude of what took place. Like you turn on your owner, like every dog's gonna have that one person that's really their alpha, and you were that one to him. So that was definitely a responsible decision to make sure that, you know, no one else experienced that, because it could have been worse for someone else.
I got 2 kids, you know what I mean? I got a 6-year-old daughter. At the time she was 5. I mean, she hardly weighed 48 pounds, you know what I mean? My son hardly weighs 80.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't imagine if he couldn't turn his switch off on one of them, you know, I wouldn't have a kid, you know.
Right.
And
absolutely.
some people
And Stewart,
they try to, they give him a second chance. There's no second chances. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
No,
Oh
no.
He
man,
did it
maybe
once,
he
he'll do
just,
it again.
he just
exactly.
triggered this. It just triggered him. Ain't no second chances. You know, once they do
Yeah,
that, it's over.
not with people aggression by any.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people would have been like, I just shot him. I mean, I can't tell you how many people were like, I just shot him. And I was just like, why? I'll go pay the $300 to put him down humanely. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
that was
that's
like
what
your
someone said.
son. You
I
can't.
would
I
have
ain't no
done,
way.
but like you don't know what
Yeah.
you would
No,
have done
that's a,
until you're
yeah,
in the moment. You know that's a emotional moment. You have ties to that. You care for that dog more than anyone else
bro. I
could. So
love
no one can tell you what to
that
do in that
dog so
situation.
much. When he bit me, my dumb ass was like, all right, Thor, what are you doing? He's like, I'm like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
dude? What's going, knock it off. You know what I mean? I'm trying to talk sense into this dog who's on who's on 110, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
obviously he wasn't, so, I'm trying to pick his ass the fuck up. Um, and,
yeah,
but, you said it perfectly. He was my best friend, you know what I mean? And in that moment, I wasn't fucking mad at the world or anything. I was trying to wrap my head around what the fuck just happened.
Mhm.
You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I'm gushing. You know what I mean? It wasn't no small wound. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gushing. I'm over there. I call my grandma. Funny story. I think I told Caleb this. I call my grandma. I'm like, Thor just bit me. She's like, Thor? And I'm like, yeah, it's bad. I need you to come get me to the doctor. I drive myself, but I'm bad. And so she sends my Aunt Jolie because she's closer. And my Aunt Jolie's fucking trying to have a fucking conversation with me in the car, just telling me about her life and everything. She hadn't seen the wound. I got, a towel around it. And I'm like, Jolie, excuse my language, but shut the fuck up and take me to the hospital. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
I
need
show her
zero
my,
conversation
yeah,
right now. Like I just had this traumatizing
I
experience
show
and
her
you
my
want to
hand, and the whole ride to the hospital, the rest of the ride to the hospital was dead silent. And she's trying not to throw up, you know what I mean? And trying not to look at it.
Hey, Stewart, Aunt Jolie's probably watching right now. She's like, Stewart,
Yeah.
you were always a little bastard.
Fucking like your brothers better.
Oh
That's
man,
crazy.
that's hilarious. But no, I, of course we're putting relief on a situation that's not normally talked about. And thank you so much for being transparent and honest with everything about this, because it's conversations like this that need to take place more often. A lot of ills are taken in silence, and I agree with that to a certain degree. There needs to be education behind it. I don't think you should trap things inside and not let everyone know. Now, I'm not going to be one that runs, to social media and be like, "Oh, this happened today." No, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
I
do
didn't go
that.
on social
Like, no,
media and like, Thor bit me and gave a sob,
yeah,
sad story. A couple of the close friends and homies knew about it, you know what I mean? And they felt for me, you
oh,
know?
absolutely. And I'm not saying that you did by any means, but I'm saying like this educational level that you're talking about right now needs to be discussed, and that's why this platform is the way it is, because we need to talk about these, on settings like this, on how to act and what to do, because
I
yeah, that's a tough
mean,
situation. And
since we're talking about learning and educating, you know what I mean? Was it my fault that Thor bit me? No. It wasn't my fault. He did what he did. But was there things that I could have done differently? Sure. You see them two fucking going, trying to get to each other through the fucking cage. I mean, you can hear it. I heard it from in here outside. I'm like, what the fuck? There's no
yeah.
dogs out, but just Thor. You know what I mean? I knew they couldn't be around. I knew that. And I'm like, it's just Thor and Katana outside. I'm like, fuck, is he tearing Katana a new one? And I get out there, and Katana's just kind of dumbass dog. As soon as she's happy to see me, like there isn't a huge growling match
yeah,
going on over there, and so
Mhm.
I'll put her in the house real quick. And you know, could I have just let them fucking go at it through the damn cage? They couldn't have hurt each other the more when I think about it. But
Right.
what I found
yeah,
out that day was you had a hot dog. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I had already done a breeding, not one breeding, but like five with him at this point. And
yeah,
you know, right there was enough to let me know, through trial and error, I kind of found out like this is not a breedable dog, no matter how good he looks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I found out he came at me. What's he going to do to someone he hasn't known for 5 years and fed him and loved him and gave him all this
Mhm.
attention?
Precisely.
You know what I mean? So,
Man,
I
how,
could have stayed inside and yelled at him from the window and, maybe he'd still be around. But um, learn from my
Yeah,
mistake, you
man.
know what I mean?
hey, how did
Yeah.
you keep your calm?
I
When,
think it was adrenaline and shock. I think it was adrenaline and shock. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm not some badass or something. Have I been in pain before? Have I gotten stitches and shit before? Sure. You know what I mean? I mean, in high school when I wrestled, I did a single leg on someone and his chin went through my damn collarbone and I broke it. And I tell you, I was not calm right there. You know what I mean? Like I was, ooh, you know what I mean?
Zero
You know what I mean?
composure. It's all
You
gone. That's it. It
know
went to
what I
shit.
mean? I don't know what it was about that moment. I just can't,
Yeah.
reiterate enough. I couldn't wrap my head around it after it happened.
Yeah.
I went to bed every night thinking about Thor. You know what I mean? I was having
Yeah.
dreams about Thor. You know what I mean? For three months, later, I was having dreams about Thor. Waking up, I would have a dream that Loki and Thor were in the backyard together. Waking up like, oh, they can't be in the backyard together, and this motherfucker been gone for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, uh, so I don't have any cool reason on why I was so calm and collective, and in that I think I was more or less in shock. You know what I mean? Couldn't believe it
Yeah.
happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And again, the transparency is amazing just to hear and you to educate others. And man, those situations, would close a lot of people off too, accepting more dogs in. Like you took the opposite of that and said, I need to learn from this. And now you're becoming a even bigger advocate. You created a board,
Yeah,
correct? Like, are you the creator of that
yeah,
board?
yeah.
Putting on a,
Me and Brian, I can't even think of his last name. He done kind of moved over to Instagram. He don't even do much on the page anymore. Brian Kendricks. We set up Midwest Bully Networks, and man, we had it for like a year before I decided to like take it seriously. I was like, man, you got this platform. So many people around
Yeah.
here. Um, so I like to give kudos where it's due. I literally just made a post one day and was like, listen, I want to get this group moving. You know what I mean? Like a lot of bullshit was going on. You know what I mean? Not what I created the group for. And I had Cole Johnson reached out to me all the way from Florida. He's not even here from the Midwest. He's like, bro, I'll help you. Didn't even know this guy, and I was like, what can I lose? If he's someone that we don't mesh or we don't share the same ideas or whatever,
Yeah.
just kick him from the group or whatever. But that is not what happened. We are boys now. We're cool. You know what I
yeah,
mean? We fuck with each other every day. You know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times this man has photoshopped my face on some shit. Okay, that's it. You know what I mean? We are, we're cool. And then, maybe 2 or 3 months later, I've always had a good friendship with Doug Schaffner, and
yeah,
Doug is here. He's real close. He's probably like an hour and a half away from me. You know what I mean? I seen that he did the XL movement. He's on Global, and I'm like, man, why don't you come represent for the Midwest? You know what I mean? I need your help. Come help me run this page, and he's helped me run this page. And between doing the interviews and the stack offs and just making scheduled posts that people can interact with, we've climbed up to like 6,500, which is little compared to some of these out here, but you know what I mean. It's great for the Midwest. You know what I mean. Like it's great for us. We
Doug,
huh?
please do. Oh, Doug's comment, please do.
See, I
Oh
ain't
yeah.
getting no comment.
Absolutely. That is an absolute yes, Doug. Yes, and thank you. Yes, please, and thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
I wish I could see the comments. I can't. This happens to me a lot on my lives when we're doing interviews. Everybody see the comments and I can't. Last thing I've seen was Adam Field 2 trains. That's it.
Do you know the story behind that?
Yeah, I've watched y'all. I followed y'all for a long time. I know.
I never know who's like been watching the whole time. So like every once in a while, like so when it's somebody I'm not sure if they've seen us before,
Yeah.
if I hear the trains in the background with Bruce, I'm like, can I say it? Trains, you know? I try keeping it low enough, but Adam always catches it. But
Yeah.
Yes.
If I don't
Me and
watch y'all
we have,
live, you know what I mean? I always watch y'all the next morning while I'm at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, my my I got one person that works with me named Mark, an older gentleman, and he's not even into American Bullies and shit. But like, I can't tell you how many times we've been watching y'all shit. Like, he's now into American Bullies, and he's like asking me all about it and shit because he watches this with me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's way more educated than he should be for not owning a bully, and you know
perfect.
what I mean? Yeah,
I'm here
That's
for it.
that's
I
awesome.
love
yeah,
I
it.
did.
That's awesome.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Our saying is
Reach
Amanda.
one, teach one.
Oh, there we go. That's why we do
absolutely.
it. And
Absolutely.
conversations like yes, amazing, man. And not only are you the admin of the group, but you're putting on a show
Yeah,
too, correct?
yeah. May 24th of 2025. You got a whole year out, guys. Louisville Expo Center, Louisville, Kentucky. Um, Huge. It's gonna be nice. We got Danny Cervantes MCing, BRC sanctioned. Shout out to Kev Green for giving us that opportunity. We got Jonathan Kunciumba coming from Texas to do the fun show. We got DJ Cornette to do the fun show as well. He's going to do like the pockets and the micros, and
Saw that.
Jonathan's going to do the standards and the XLs. It should be a good time. You know what I mean? That show. So I'm not just. It's not just me throwing that show. Uh, Sean Fredericks is like a brother to me. He's 5 minutes down the road from me, and his kennel partner Matt Jones. Both of them are part of Mayhem River Bullies. Make sure y'all go like and follow them and check everything that they got out. And Doug Schaffner. We're all throwing that show. We've all came together. You know, we talk about every little aspect before we put it out there, and really appreciative of those guys. We've all talked about it for a long time, and just kind of like the show, what it's called, Pull Up or Shut Up. It was time to put up or shut up. You know, let's let's
Yeah.
let's quit talking about it and let's do it. We know way too many people. The bully show is for all of them. Frenchies, well, there's fluffy or regular Frenchies, you know, English bulldogs, but we are trying to put a huge emphasis on the XLs. You know what I mean? I know they're here. I've seen them all, not all of them, but I've seen a lot of them just in this region. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For us not to be pulling up and showing what's up. You know what I mean? And so that's our huge emphasis. We would love to people to show out. You know, I got people from Texas saying they're coming. Caleb Caleb seems pretty dedicated. It's coming. I think I've seen Amanda say that she's probably going to come. And
Bruce told me coming. Bruce told
we got
me yesterday he was
got a
coming.
spot for Bruce, his own little parking spot. You know what I mean? Come on out.
He'll need that whole parking space, and that's
Bruce,
just for the dog
That's
crates.
cool, Bruce. Show
The
me
dogs
something. You know
are
what I mean? I got
massive.
full faith in you. I got full faith
Yeah.
in you. So it's two BRC sanctioned shows, and then we got a fun show as well.
You hear that?
man.
BRC there, Bruce. You're gonna have to title your dog again in a new registry.
Yeah, nothing new to Bruce. Bruce ain't new to this.
That's right.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, Bruce. Hey, Bruce, man, he knocked so quick in like a couple shows. He was dual champion, ARC. Oh, he was so cool to watch,
Tell you.
man.
It was just
And
one of these
Oh,
things where it's like he shows up. Like we've been doing, going to shows, different registries, different, cities and states and everything. And we were able to get Bruce out. And, he'd been saying, yeah, I kind of want to get back out there. I kind of want to get back out there. And we finally got him out. And
yeah,
this
Yep.
motherfucker titles. You're like, you're
listen,
welcome.
Bruce. If anything else, we
uh,
got we got a food truck that's doing fried desserts like
Oh,
strawberry cheesecake funnel cakes, apple cobbler funnel cakes,
now
fried
you're talking.
Oreos. Man, come sit with me next to the food trucks, and we could just, if that's all we do, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I mean, come chill, man. I'd love to meet all of y'all in person, and we kind of got a feel for each other because we talk every now and again, especially now. But yeah, I'd love to see y'all. I'm not unaware of y'all's following and how much y'all do in the show ring, and it would be a blessing if y'all showed up. You know what I mean? Uh, love to have
Absolutely.
y'all.
No,
I'd love. I
we're
mean, I want to see every single one of y'all's dogs: Genesis, Teddy Bear, Dread, all of them. You know what I mean? I want to see them perform, and you know, like to see y'all keep doing what y'all are doing. I want to see y'all take home one of our ribbons. I can't guarantee it. You know what I mean? But I'd like to see
Was it put
some
in that
try.
order? Not you, Bruce. It just comes naturally to you,
Yeah,
apparently.
I can always, buy a ribbon for you. I'm just not sure what it say on it.
Put one of those Photoshop images like right in the center of it. Just
Yeah.
put one of those Photoshop images of you in the middle, and then give that to him. That'll be great.
I don't know if you want one of those,
Completely
though.
unforgettable.
Okay, they're a little hairy and a little suspect. Okay. I
Aren't most men anyways?
don't know about the suspect, but hairy, yeah. Odd positions.
oh,
Mm-mm.
but man, I love the movement. I love what's taking place over in the Midwest, man. Jonathan show's coming up on June 15th, Cashing Out Kennels, Throwdown in Katy, Texas. You're doing your thing in the Midwest, man. I
Yeah.
love it. XLs, man. Let's spark something up. Let's show up for
Yeah.
the shows. June 15th this year, Jonathan's. Stewart, of course, yours is May
Yes,
24th of
sir.
2025, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Louisiana.
Louisville,
Louisville.
Kentucky. Louisville,
Louisville.
Kentucky.
A little further drive.
My bad.
But yeah, we've been doing our research. I mean, I've reached out to Wade Elliott. I've picked his brain. I've picked Danny Cervantes' brain. I've picked uh Jonathan's brain. You know what I mean? All these people who do shows, and I really think with their combined knowledge and as big as our want is, that the show there's no reason for the show not to turn out. Y'all all have plenty of time
Yep.
to buy a booth, buy hotel reservations, flights, whatever you're gonna do, drives, whatever it is gonna be. You know what I mean? Put $20 a week or a month away, and you should be able to make it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's a long time out. You know what I
For
mean?
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, and I'm trying to remember, I don't know if it was Kentucky or not, but I know that there was a show recently where it's, no, you know what? I think it might be, no, I don't think it's Kentucky, it's Greenville. So, but like there's areas where hotels are a little iffy. So definitely look at Airbnbs as well for dog friendly.
Absolutely. I would suggest an Airbnb. This far out, you can get
Yeah.
one just as much, you know, as a decent hotel. I
So,
will say I think it's a Hyatt, and it's literally right across. There's like 4 or 5 hotels right across the street from the venue. And then I would even
Okay.
suggest we got 6. So the Expo Center and Kentucky Six Flags is right next to each other. Don't just come on Friday. You know what I mean? Set up and come to the show and leave. Stay Sunday. Go to Six Flags. Go to Hurricane Bay. Make a weekend of it. You got kids, cool. We plan on having inflatables. It's gonna be friendly. You know what I mean?
nice.
Inflatables for the kids.
Yeah.
It's it's not just this excuse my language, dick swinging contest. We really want everyone to enjoy. You know what I mean? Food
I mean,
swinging,
I'm
whatever you're
swinging
bringing
anyways,
to
but
the
at the same
table.
time, that's
Okay.
not the point.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
we really want people to come and enjoy their time, so much so that they come again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Thank you.
I'm with it. But no, Hey, I love how the collaboration of programs that are putting this together and how you're pitching as a weekend, because that's neat, man. A lot of a lot of these events could become that, really present it like that, and it's a year out, Six Flags, things like that. So that's an awesome pitch towards that. That'd be cool if you could work with Six Flags and make some sort of like
That'd be sweet.
promotion with them, man.
There's gonna be a flea market that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's gonna be a flea market in the same expo center. You know what I mean? Go to the flea market, buy some antiques. I don't care. Come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Louisville Slugger Museum
My
is
wife,
right down the road.
yeah. Heck yeah, man. Man, I love it. I love what you're doing over there, man. I love just how big of an advocate you are for the breed. Man, keep doing your thing. Can't wait for your show. We're committed to come. Alabama's riding, and
I
man, we
appreciate it.
back you.
I appreciate it. There's a couple other names that have dedicated to coming, but it's a year out, anything can happen. So I don't want to mention them just yet.
Yeah.
But as of what you've seen on our banner, as far as XLs, will be there. That's one thing we're trying to do. We're not just trying to throw any XL or any dog on the banner, and there will be more to come. The flyer, if you see it on the flyer, it's going to be there.
Cool.
That's awesome. I kind of lost track of if anybody had any. We were just having way too much fun, apparently. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Or you guys been listening pretty intently, and lots of comments, but I didn't see a lot of questions, which, perhaps you were already answering them.
I don't see
unwittingly.
anything. Honestly, if someone has asked me a question, I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. It's not.
I hadn't seen it.
Don't feel bad about it.
Hey, there was a comment that I would like to actually, I kind of pinned it just mentally, that I'd like to go back to. And someone, I forget what his name is. I'd like to actually give credit to where credit's due. But he put something along the lines of people that breed that aren't doing it for the right that are doing it for money are obviously doing it for the wrong reason. I forget exactly how he worded it, but he's saying that, people that are doing it kind of as a hobby are really doing it pure-hearted, because people do get desperate in situations if they're doing it for money. And I'm not saying that everyone that does it for money do something like that, but it just seems more genuine if it's not just too pressed on selling a litter. If that's where your income's coming from.
There's a lot of people that make a living off doing this, but I got a 9-to-5. I do not make my living off doing this. My living sucks my money. You know what I mean? Or my hobby sucks my money from my day job to make it keep going, whether it's vet bills or food or studs or showing up to these shows, travel.
My dog habit.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's
it
right.
really is. It's an addiction. My wife could beat my ass, bro. My wife would beat my ass. If you could put me and my wife in a boxing ring and let her get out the frustration of how much I talk about these goddamn dogs, and you know what I mean? She would beat the dog shit out of me, bro. I'm telling you. She's the side eye, real. You know what I mean? She got like calm me down, like, hey, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. We lost her interest, Stewart.
Yeah. And while we're talking about, I know I'm throwing jokes and but she's the rock over here. So everybody knows she's the rock over here. She makes sure that, you know what I mean, when I can't, she will. She's rotating dogs with me. She's feeding dogs with me. If no matter how mad she is, you know what I mean. If a litter's touching the ground, she's
it's yours.
Yeah, exactly. You know, what I mean? Like she is very much the reason that I can do this. I can do this with a good conscience. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love that.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
credit where credit's due, man.
Oh yeah, give that woman some flowers.
Oh yeah.
Literally and figuratively, of course, naturally.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. She's been giving me hell. We got a litter coming up here soon. Mid next month we go for X-rays on the 3rd of June, and someday she's like, oh, we got this litter coming. It's gonna be a lot of work, and then the next day she's super excited about it. You know what I mean? So it's the good comes with the bad, and bad comes with the good.
Oh yeah, litters. Oh man. That's a mixture of emotions, I'm sure.
Poor thing, and it's got to be my fault, but and I'm not too sure, but the last two litters we've had after 2 weeks, my female has caught mastitis, which I'm not understanding because we're massaging, making sure all the nips are being worked. You know what I mean? And just the last two times, by 2 weeks, the milk is tainted, and we have been bottle feeding. I'm talking about, yeah. So wish us luck, this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good, man. Hopefully, beautiful litter, man, and man, all
Yeah.
thrive.
We ran to just giving shout outs, Brandon Hamilton's boy Murphy, a Whopper son, and really really like the boy a lot, and we're excited to see what comes from this one.
Nice. Did you already have your breeding banners out, or you wait until you confirm?
No, yeah, they're out. We're pretty confirmed. She's sagging and she's filling up already.
Who
And
wants part of
yeah,
it?
yeah. I don't think we need an ultrasound for this one.
Yeah, so June 3rd.
Yeah, June 3rd is the X-ray, and how quick she's showing. I'm assuming there's a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
hopefully
Hey,
everything goes swimmingly.
We appreciate that, genuinely.
yeah, yes. Hey, Stewart, a way we normally close is, man, we do this for newer breeders. We do this for the breeders that are watching that are really just looking for some knowledge, some advice, and you've shown a lot of that tonight. And thank you again. A lot of transparency, a lot of ethics, morals that were really shown from you tonight. And I can't hit on that enough. But the newer breeders, what advice could you really give them? Like getting
Oh
it.
man, there's a lot. Research, right, is the biggest. I think something I wish I would have did was I wish I was like that saying, a fly on the wall first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have just kind of peeped everything first before I formed opinions. And you know, I wouldn't tell nobody don't jump, both feet first. Be passionate about it, but to save yourself trouble and to not go through the mistakes I did, find a mentor. Don't buy a dog from somebody that once you get a dog from them, you should be family at that point.
Yeah.
I literally have a message group of people I just sold dogs to, and at any point in time
Heck,
they can hit that chat and they can ask whatever, whether it's me or someone else who's bought a dog for me or whatever, and get info, advice, whatever it may be. Someone buy from the right person. Make sure if you're looking to breed that you buy breeding stock. Health health is very important. But I've noticed that there's so many lanes in this. Big, tall, small, freak, show ring, color. You know, find your lane and just be okay with being in it. A lot of these people are in competition with each other, and you don't need to be. There's so much room for everybody. You want to be in competition, go to the ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't need to be in competition on social media. There's a lot of backstabbing and stuff like that out there.
Oh yeah.
But I found when you're genuine and you're passionate, the vibe you put off, if you put off the right vibe, the right people will come to you and be willing to help you succeed. Where if you put off a negative vibe, though, it'll attract negative people and kind of push you in a direction that you don't want to go in or start in. I can't tell you how many people have the nicest stud that I've seen out there, but their personality is shit, or their logic or ego is shit, and people just aren't using that dog because of the owner.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
Not the right reasons, but
yeah, it's okay to be a fly on the wall and get on these social medias and just to learn. You don't have to be all involved in these boards and comment on every single thing, and people will notice you.
Yeah.
You you put a good production up, you put a good dog up, you win first in the show, you put a nice litter down, people are gonna notice. You know what I mean? They're gonna notice. You don't have to do all these stunts to get attention. You know what I mean? Um, that would be one of my biggest, and finding a mentor that has patience with you. You know what I mean? Is going to lead you in the right direction. There's many people that have done it before me. I think I've been doing it about 5, almost 6 years now, and I am still green. I still consider myself green. I don't consider myself some expert greeter or, unteachable. Like, there's way more that I need to learn, and we're getting there, and that's cool. But yeah, just put yourself in a position to learn, be willing to learn. I can't tell you how many times the trend has changed since I've been in it. You know what I mean? But whether it's
Mhm.
color, size, weight chase, head size, you know what I mean? Whatever it be. Um, so go out, don't buy the first dog that you see that's red and looks good with a 34-inch head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Go to these shows. You know what I mean?
Well,
Usually people who put their dogs in the show, and I can't, not all, don't hold me to it, but like usually people are taking their time out to consistently go to shows, to consistently place. You know what I mean? They don't do that, without being educated, without knowing what they're talking about.
mm,
All these shows attract all different types of dogs. You will get your fill of dogs. You know what I mean? Of bulls at these places. Go to your local shows. You know, and last but not least, put hands on these dogs. That kind of ties into what I just said, but like, put hands in these dogs. Don't just look at these Facebook pictures and everything. I can't tell you how many times I pulled up on a dog and was ready to leave immediately. I'm a nice person, so I'll stick around and I'll talk to you and everything, but I'm ready to leave immediately. Like, like, come on, man. Yeah,
I'm
whether
a
it's a nice
photographic
thing,
dog.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple times I would have just rather have done a drive-by, what I mean? Like, pulled up, seen him outside with his dog, and just act like, man, I hope he didn't see
We're
me.
interested on here.
Yeah, U-turn, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but,
Stewart, I
yeah,
see
is that
you
you?
down.
No, that's not me. But yeah, I mean, there's so many more I could give you that, they probably be intertwined with each other. But, education, research,
Yeah.
physically put hands on these dogs.
Yeah. Hey, Stuart, real quick, too. I have another question for you. And hey, someone shouted you out. Sean Frederick said, "Thanks for mentoring me, brother. I learned a lot from Stuart. Great dude. So man, hey, you've had your impact already on the bully world. You say you're green, but man, you're shining. So that
I
keep doing what you're
greatly
doing.
appreciate that.
Yes. But hey, there was one about the mastitis, and I like this question.
Christian's
It says,
questioning.
yeah, it said, when your females have got mastitis, were they smaller litters? Curious to know if it was just her body producing so much milk that was more than pups could drain, so it turned into that. He says, I know we're closing, but would be even be down to hear the answering
No,
message. And I like
no,
the
I'm
question.
good.
I think a lot of people are
Okay.
probably,
Mastitis, so when I talked to the vet about it, the first time I was kind of like, all right, took her to the vet. Doc gave me some medicine. We bottle feeded. And to answer her first part of her question, both litters were 10. Both litters were 10 pups. So,
okay.
from my understanding, and which is weird because the female only has 9 nips.
Mm.
Not an equal number of
Yeah,
nips. But and
that is weird.
yeah. So I asked the doc the second time, second litter comes around, and the second time I'm like, am I doing something wrong, doc? Like, you know what I mean? This is the second time in a
Yeah.
row. You know what I mean? I said, I swear. I mean, I'm cleaning her. I'm keeping them clean. You know what I mean? They're
The
staying on her.
working
They're
on,
they're
yeah.
massaging. They're working her.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Um, why
Things
she
are
keep?
getting real weird with the
Yeah,
dog at home. Like,
I'm like, is there something that I can do? And the only thing that he really suggested to me was to maybe work her a little more. Um, but he said that from what he's seen, that he didn't see, any uncleanliness. There was no rashes or like scars. Of course, the puppies are clawing the shit out of her, but that's just normal.
On
But
con. Yeah.
yeah, the kneading. But yeah, I mean, I think it might be.
Now, when you say working her more, are you talking about just hot, warm compressions, just kind of just
Yeah,
moving it around like
yeah,
that,
warm
just to make sure?
compressions. He, massaging
Okay.
that area. Um, so and the first time that it happened to me, I just thought that nip was like loaded with more milk than the others. You
Right.
know what I mean? And then I kind of, after like day two, it was like bright red, and I went to kind of massage it again. I'm like, shit, this shit's hard as a rock almost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Damn.
So I wish I had um, a good answer. I don't think it has to do with the amount of pups that she had. The doc said that she was pretty clean, but that's not typically what causes it. It's something internal. It could just be something that, that it's privy to her because, my other litters hasn't been an issue. It's just this one female, to the point to where we're loading up on goat's milk and, we're getting ready to make sure that she doesn't have it. We already have mastitis medicine, what I mean? If we see it coming, then we're not going to let her be uncomfortable for a day or two. You know,
Yeah.
we're already ready to bottle feed.
You'd have
Yeah.
to, and that's a good bit of advice because you never want to wait until you literally find out that you're going to be bottle feeding. That you're going to be bottle feeding. You want to have that already set, ready to go, and then treatment for the mother as well. So that's
Yeah, and it's scary. It can be
good
harmful
advice.
for the pups. You know what I mean? One nipple affects all the nipples. It's not like, oh, we'll
Yep.
just avoid this nipple. Like, no, like
Right.
one
We can't
nipple
just put a
avoids.
traffic cone over it
Yeah,
and just call it a
we
day.
can't just section this nipple off and,
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's out of order. Like it's not a soda fountain, like I mean, we gotta take care of her. So we're prepared, um, and yeah, we're ready to do that. My thoughts on it is, if it is bottle feeding, it's bottle feeding for 3 weeks, and then on to gruel, mush, whatever you want to call it. But we're fully prepared
Yeah.
for it.
Hey, one last question about that mastitis. Did the vet tell you kind of what to look for to see if you're seeing, signs of it and how to kind of prevent that, kind of work through that as soon as you see the
So
first sign?
yeah, he kind of reiterated what I had saw. So what I had saw was this dog. We kept putting the dog on this nymph because it was big. So I'm thinking like, that's the one that needs to be worked the most. Well, I kind of noticed that like they were struggling, when they're kneading and they pull off, they're pulling off of the nip hard and hard and
Yeah.
hard. But I wasn't seeing
Obviously.
no lactation. You know what I mean? I wasn't seeing no lactation from it at all. It's almost like it was clogged up. So that was kind of our biggest sign was like, this isn't going down. I mean, you can physically see, you know, you can physically see when they're nursing on mom, her teats will get less swollen. You know what I mean? So if you're putting a bunch of dogs on that nip and it's not getting any less swollen, like it's something you want to watch out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that other than obviously like your bacterial causes, which keeping her clean, that obviously wasn't an issue, but sometimes it can actually be caused by lack of milk flow.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, which was weird because it
Not
was the very
overflow,
back
but
one.
lack of.
Yeah,
Like the exact
yeah,
opposite.
and it was the back one, which tend to be the healthiest, the most producing when it comes to the milk, and
I,
it was never going down. It was just never going down, and that was our main thing was
Yeah.
and like something ain't right. It's not because it's abundant milk.
Yeah. And Christian, hey, great question. And thank you for that question. Because a lot of times that is what takes place. He was talking about a smaller litter. And if that's what caused the mastitis, because a lot of people won't rotate the puppies and things like that. And when you're talking about, of course, working the dogs, warm compressions, if you're starting to see a lot of, especially one tit really swelling up, put some warm compression on it. You'll feel it kind of clogging up to kind of, it's hardening. You have to at that point. So, man, great topic to really kind of end on tonight. So, Christian, thank you for bringing it to our attention.
I've heard cabbage leaves help. You know what I mean? We went as far as to put cabbage leaves on her and wrap her up, but we didn't rely on it. So I don't know if that old wives' tale works or not. But I heard cabbage leaves help.
I'm gonna Google that. That's
Yeah. I heard of it.
I've heard it. I've heard it dry up women and female dogs and things like that, and women, humans.
Yeah. We didn't rely on that. We wasn't gonna just work with cabbage leaves, but maybe you can't take her into the morning or something. Throw some cabbage leaves on her, wrap her up.
Man, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, and if anyone else got questions, ask now. But Stewart, I think we're gonna wrap this up, man. I think work in the morning. You're an hour behind us, but man, thank you, man. I appreciate you again, Stewart. Hey, Stewart Flagg. Hey, how does everyone get a hold of you? Facebook name, Instagram, things like that.
On
name once
Facebook,
more.
it's just my name, Stewart Flagg. I can't change it. I don't know why, but it's just Stewart Flagg. On Instagram, you can find me on Thoroughbred Built Bullies. And on TikTok, you can find me on both Thoroughbred Built Bullies or Stewart Flagg as well. We'll be going live with the pups probably a lot on TikTok. I'm sure I'll do it on Facebook as well, but we'll probably be on TikTok a lot doing the lives. Come check us out. I'll be bored and busy at the same time, so come keep me some company. But those are the main ways to get a hold of me. If you got questions or anything, by the way, it doesn't have to be, interest in the litter or anything like that. The show, you need a little bit of advice on your dog or something, don't hesitate, don't hesitate to hit the inbox. If I don't know, I know someone who does, and we'll get you together.
We'll learn together. This is gonna be great. That's kind of a good mentor. If you don't know the answer, we'll learn together. That's something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, when's your next live, man? When can we catch the next live?
I'm glad you asked. Bruce,
talk to me
when you're available. Would you like to come on the live? Let's start there.
Yeah. Man, I've been working so much, man. Big Bruce.
Let Bruce go.
Let's get it. Yeah, I'll tell you a date. Let me know what you got available.
Tell you what, most nights baseball's about to slow down for the next 3 weeks, but I know you got like 30 years in this, breeding and showing, and that's just something we have to tap into. You know what I mean? We want to hear your story. I'd love to give you your time to shine, and if you'll allow it, we would love to have you on.
All right, I'm good with that.
Cool. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm talking about. Love it.
Yeah, definitely be tuning in for that one. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're friends.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're friends. You just let me know your availability, and we'll find a day that works, and we'll give it a couple of days. We'll post it up, let everyone know about it, and we'll give you your time to shine because you absolutely deserve it.
I so appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Shoot. Love it. Hey, everyone, stay tuned for Bruce going live on Stewart's podcast. So, man, that's awesome.
Absolutely. We will be sharing that when they make any announcements of the date. We'll definitely be sharing that so everyone can tune in and show some love. But also, if after tonight, if you want to share this live, that way, if you know anybody that hasn't, they either caught the tail end of it or whatever, they can turn around and use the link and watch it tomorrow. I'll just share away. I mean, we had some great insight today. Stewart was incredibly transparent and forthcoming with us, and covered a lot of really, really tough material that some people kind of shy away from. So it's definitely something that I think was very brave for him to kind of let go, and give us the insight on. So definitely want that information out there so that everyone can learn from his experiences and go from there. So share away.
Absolutely.
I mean, if we're just being genuine, I mean, the truth should be easy to share. You know what I mean? If I don't share the truth, then I'm not helping nobody. And we're not
That's right.
going in a good
Yep.
direction. So,
That's right.
you know,
That's
it wasn't that hard, and I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to come on and you know, make sure y'all share the live. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Did you?
Absolutely,
Yep.
man.
All right,
Be
everybody.
good. Good
You
night.
have a great rest of your night.
You
All
too.
right. Good night, guys.
Bye, brother.